Mr. President, sitting as chair, very distinguished colleagues, I listened yet again to distinguished Senator Abdul Nengi, and I totally agree with him as to the danger of passing this provision as it is. And I have two proposals for consideration by our colleagues, and if they make sense, then we can proceed to make a further amendment on that basis. One is to say that it is not in all circumstances that the act of procuring these drugs for the purpose of carrying out an abortion that will be illegal. It's not going to be in all circumstances. In other words, my response here will be for us to provide for a proviso, include a proviso, because where a certified medical doctor, for reasons of medical emergency, make such a prescription, I don't think it will be unlawful. And that was why the word unlawful was used. So I will be proposing that we add that proviso. The second observation that I have is if you look at the provisions of this section 4, again, that's amendment of section 234. If you look at 4, well, the title itself is supplying drugs or instruments to procure abortion. So it is intended, or it is assumed, that there is a child in the embryo, all right? But if you look at the wordings of the provision, it says, any person who unlawfully supplies to or procures for any person anything, whatever, knowing that it is intended to be unlawfully used to procure the miscarriage of a woman. Now note, whether she is or is not with child, is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 5 years. In other words, distinguished colleagues, the words, whether she is or is not with child, cannot go with the intendment of this provision. If the woman is without a child, then you can't be talking of abortion. You can only talk of abortion where indeed and truly there's a child.
And that must have been certified by a doctor.
Thank you, sir.
That there is a child inside.
The person must have passed a pregnancy test.
Yes.
And someone without a child in the womb cannot pass a pregnancy test, so there will be nothing to abort.
And so why do you send the person without a child?
Yes.
To 5 years imprisonment?
My proposal in this day would be that we delete those words. We delete those words. Whether she is or is not with child. That is, whether she is or is not pregnant. Somebody who is not pregnant
it calls for a deeper reflection. My opinion would be that maybe we just step down for that constitution, send it back to the committee so that they can do a better job. Because we are talking about people's freedom.
Yes, sir.
We are talking about people's liberty.
Yes.
And then, like Senator Ningi observed, it goes beyond the person who buys the drug.
Yeah.
It also affects the person who sells the drug. And then it also even affects the person who takes the drug and the manufacturer. So
if we're able to step it down for a week or two and allow committee on judiciary.
Exactly, to look at it and come up with a better advice. Yes. So, distinguished Deputy Senate President, you may wish to move a motion to
Mr. President, I support your proposal because this is a very, very sensitive matter.
Yes.
We have an outstanding committee on judiciary headed by a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Yes.
We should allow them to go and work on it, make sure that everything is in line with international conventions, with our own culture and religion and so on and so forth. It is on this premise that I move that we step down
for that constitution
until and refer back to the standing committee to report back within 2 weeks. I so move.
Yes. Distinguished Senator Ojuto-Gallo.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Ojuto-Gallo. I represent Abia North of Abia State Senatorial District. I stand to support the motion ably moved by the Deputy Senate President.
Distinguished colleagues, in view of the confusion generated by the title Supplying Drugs or Instruments to Procure Abortion, and in view of the confusion as to whether there is a child or not, the person will go to 5 years imprisonment. That means for taking any drug at all. The inelegance of it all, the opposite Senate President has proposed a motion that we step down for the consideration of this bill and then refer it to our Committee on Judiciary and Legal Matters to get back to us in 2 weeks. Distinguished Senator Ojusakalu, a strong leader and member of this August Assembly, has seconded it. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Senate President, please, may I speak? I'm a woman, and abortion has to do with women. It's very important, sir.
Let us go to clause. This has been stepped down in totality. Yes, you distinguished senator, distinguished senator. This has been stepped down in view of the conviction, but if you have anything to add, you can say.
Thank you very much, sir. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, Kogi Central. Sir, this borders on abortion. And
yes, Senator, your mic.
Mr. President, we have been tutored over and over that when a matter has been concluded and you have dropped the gavel, in this particular case, to allow for more conversation, if you grant exemption to distinguish Senator Natasha, then you must extend the same extension to us, in which case our rules will become meaningless. I think the rules should be obeyed. We have said more discussion, which allow her to make any input, and I also intend to make more input. I think that is the whole essence of deferring it. To continue the debate, many of us will rather debate it here. So I think my distinguished sister should agree that these are the rules, and those rules have to be followed. If you begin to exercise discretion of granting exemption here, you have to grant exemption there, and here we shall have no rules.
Okay,
I think the rules should be firm, and they should be applied the way you have done, even when I try to...
Distinguished Senator Adam Shumole, I must add that I'm not a spirit to know what the senator wanted to say. The senator said, I want to say something. But if I knew, I would have referred her to Rule 52, sub 6. Rule 52, sub 6 says, it shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the Senate has come to a conclusion during the current session, except upon a substantive motion for rescission.